I don't know your last name, but we call him here. We call him Left Hand Josh around Mad Alpaca Games.
What up?
What is your last name?
It's Abel.
Abel, cool. Yeah. I got my homie Josh Abel from Inc. in Vacaville, California.
It's Anchor Tattoo.
Fuck, dude.
It's all good.
Is it? I'm gonna leave that in, dude.
It's Anchor Tattoo. That one has been around for a minute, man.
God, why did I dude? I'm gonna sleep. I'm so sorry, brother. I'm so sorry,
it's
man.
All good, dude.
How embarraing.
My boss is like, "What the fuck?"
Look how red I am. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bleep it out. I got Josh Abel out of Anchor Tattoo. I've been there. I've got a tattoo from him.
Yeah, that was like the first year I was there too.
That was your first year?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Back on track. No, we got it right.
I'll take a little drink of water and then. Oh, that's golden.
Oh shit.
But hey, seriously though, you are one busy guy. I can't say it enough. I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on this tiny little pod. Yeah, so it's November. This is going to be like our 40-something episode, and we finally landed a legit sponsor. So this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Geronimo's Shrimp Truck. They are located within the 707, and they are opening up before the year ends. So check them out. They are on Instagram right now. You can reach them on their Facebook, Geronimo's Shrimp Truck. I got that one right. I mean, Oval Shrimp Truck.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just playing. But shout out to Geronimo's Shrimp Truck. Thank you guys for being their first sponsor of the Tapioca Talk podcast. I appreciate y'all. All right, here we are. So Josh, if you haven't figured it out by now, is a tattoo artist. And we met in late 2018.
Was it 2018?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It was, I remember I got this tattoo for a reason. It was shortly after our father passed away.
Oh, shit.
So he's my brother-in-law.
Okay.
So Jello's dad passed away in 2018, my father-in-law, and this was a dedication piece to him. And I didn't tell you or anything. But
I feel like that's a lot more like honor to be able to do that for you.
Yep. So it was because Pops died in what? Oh, I'm sorry. It was 2019 because he passed away in December.
Yep.
And I'm sorry. It was early 2019. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, that was a lot later
late
than
2019.
Late 2019. Oh yeah, you're right. Weird times, but we got this tattoo, and that was when I met Josh. So I remember I was kind of scoping like Instagrams, and then for some reason yours popped up, and I was like, oh, this is the guy. This is the guy I want for my left hand, and then.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, dude. You're right.
That's hella funny.
I'm assuming you're left-handed.
Yeah.
So that's how we met, and I kind of want to just go straight into that. Yeah. For some reason, this tattoo was a ride, man. It was a ride. It was very interesting. Like I never got cold during a tattoo. So do you remember that?
Yeah. I think that was like what hour, like maybe like 2 or 3 into it. I think.
Yeah. So about halfway through the tattoo session, I didn't have a jacket, and I was like shivering. I think maybe you can explain later why I was like so cold. I don't know if my body was going into shock, but I was just shivering. And Josh, like being the nice dude that he was, he's like, "Hey man, I have a hoodie." And I was like, you're in a tattoo shop, you don't know anybody. I was trying to like just be tough about it. Like, no, I'm good. And then I just kept on shivering, and I was thinking in my head, it's gonna ruin the tattoo. And I was like, hey, can I just wear your hoodie? I never felt so embarrassed, but I know I'm pretty sure you didn't think anything of it.
No.
But I was just like, dang it, dude.
I totally forgot that even happened too. That like you got that cold and then you needed like I had the hoodie like ready for you.
Hey, have you ever experienced anything like that? Like someone just like starts shivering and uncontrollably?
Yeah. So a lot of the times when that happens is just like when you're first getting tattooed or you're getting started, like you just have like so many endorphins going through your body. Your adrenaline's like going crazy. Your body doesn't know like what's going on. So a lot of the times like your body's like, I don't know what's going on. So like you're just pumping all that into yourself. And just when when your body starts to have enough, you just start to get cold because you're just like pushing so much of that into yourself, just trying to like maintain just like the trauma that's happening to yourself.
Have you ever had to lend a jacket or hoodie to anybody? Or am I the first?
No, I mean a lot of people also come prepared. You know what I mean? I think when I tattooed you, that was like maybe like fall or like winter time too.
Yeah,
so.
it was definitely winter.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna be okay. I got this. But may I say, and I told you this before, but I think it's probably one of my like most favorite tattoos on my body. I'm super happy with it, and I love your style, man.
Oh yeah.
Not just saying because you're on the pod, but I can't wait to get back in the chair with you, which is going to be actually.
Was that March or February?
Actually, February, man. Yep. So, and man, I can't help but notice, but you have become very popular within the 707. You are super booked, dude.
Yeah. That I'm still getting adjusted to that too. I think a lot of how that kind of played into it was, when COVID hit. We couldn't tattoo for a long time, so there was a lot of buildup of, people having like a little more free time, or they just wanted to do something. And so, I feel like when everything started opening back up, like a wave came, and it just kind of hit out of nowhere. And I went from being maybe like booked for like 3 weeks, maybe to like a month, and then out of nowhere, like it just became six months, like out of nowhere, like overnight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And when did you start tattooing again?
I started tattooing in 2014.
Okay.
Wow.
So is this like the first time you've ever just like been this booked ever?
Yeah. Nice. I'm just trying to learn how to do it. Like I got a new system going. My sister actually helps out with my books. Like I have this new like jot form thing that just kind of keeps it more organized, and that way I can like respond to more people. You know what I mean? Because the last thing I want to do is just kind of leave people hanging. Like, it's a really crappy feeling. Like when you message someone you're really excited about your tattoo, and then you don't hear back.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that everybody kind of is able to like respond. That I'm able to respond to them, and I can get going on their tattoos as soon as I can.
That's cool. Yeah. I can't imagine what your DMs are like.
Fuck. Yeah, it's crazy, but I've been like reverting them to like email and just trying to do like an email base, so that way like I can organize it a little better, because DMs, like they're all over the place, like things bounce around, so it's kind of hard to keep up on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think it'd be really cool to bring something up.
Yeah.
We have tattoo artist and we have bare body. And, I think that is like a big question that a lot of people have, that they don't have tattoos, is like, for example, like what's going through your mind, and then what's going through the tattoo artist's mind? Like, cause you don't have any tattoos.
Yeah. Nah.
Right. And you're already booked with Josh?
January
2nd.
You're before me.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see, Jello, like what are some of your like question marks leading up to January?
Oh, dude, honestly, I'm just the main thing I'm concerned about is probably like the pain, just because I don't know how much I can take. You know what I mean? It's like I say this. I told you guys this all the time. It's like this is the tattoo to find out if I'm a bitch or not. You know what I mean? Because like if I do end up enjoying it, which I hope I do, because I do want to get another bigger piece as well. Like if this turns out well, like as far as like me tolerating it, that's honestly the main thing. It's like, am I gonna be able to handle the pain? Like I don't want to be like that dude that's like sitting there like crying, like, oh man, it's like just get it over with. You know what I mean? But but I'm definitely excited for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm also curious about like the process of like Josh designing the tattoo, because like
You left it pretty open ended too.
yeah, I mean honestly I don't know what to say for it. Like do people get super specific when they're like, hey, I want this kind of thing, like this kind of style, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it depends. I mean, like, you have some clients that have had like a design in their head for a long time, and they've been like stewing on it like for a long time. And a lot of the time that's like people who haven't been tattooed before.
Yeah.
Like either they don't know what they want, or they've just been thinking about this one design so much to where it becomes like consuming.
yeah.
So I like the fact that you are open ended, because that makes my job easier. You know what I mean? You're going in with an open mind, so whatever I come up with, is gonna work, I think, a little better for you and for me, and then it's gonna be like a super awesome surprise, like once we figure it out.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
because what's it called? I mean, I also didn't want to be too specific because at the same time, I want you to work with your strengths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like, I want this tattoo, and you're like, I don't know. It's like, if it's like not something that you do or something, like I don't want it to turn out bad. You know what I mean?
That's
like
fair.
I just felt like keeping it open ended was kind of like the safe bet. So then you can kind of work around what your strengths are, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's good, man. Because there's a lot of times where like I'll get DM'd and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I love your color, your big work. How are you with script?" And I'm like, I don't do that much.
That's actually what I was gonna say. I was like I mean, you know, you come out with these dope pieces, and you know what? I think I just want a cross.
Yeah.
Just like want a basic cross right here, Josh. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, do you oblige those people?
Yeah, I mean, I try to treat every tattoo as if it was just as important as the last one. You know, like I want to make sure that I'm giving everything I got to whatever it is. Like, because even though it might, to me, not be anything too crazy, to that person that could be the world. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
So like that could have a lot of meaning regardless if it's small or not. But with how I'm kind of booking out now. If it's someone else at the shop that has a little more availability and it's more of a general style tattoo, I try to make sure like, you know, everyone else at the shop gets fed too. So if they can get in sooner, they can get it done just as good. You know, I'd rather them be able to eat and also grow another relationship with someone else that, you know, wanted that tattoo.
Nice. And from the tattooer's perspective, is there a difference between like tattooing someone who's never had a tattoo before or someone like myself who's just getting cold all the time?
I mean, it really depends, you know, like it's going to be like a learning experience for you, you know, because like you said, you don't know what you're going into. Like you don't know what it's going to be like. And that's like the biggest fear for a first timer is like not knowing what it's like. You know, you always ask questions of people who are tattooed, like, what is it going to feel like? And explaining how a tattoo feels is probably the most complicated thing in the world. Like I think the closest thing that I could say it feels like is like a cat scratch on a sunburn. Like it's irritating, it's annoying, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna walk you through like, you know, everything that I'm doing, like what I'm setting up. Like I usually like once I know it's your first time, like I have this kind of little like checklist of what I run with you. Like I let you know like, hey, like we're gonna start out with like a little small line here, or maybe like a little dot, and I'm gonna check in with you, see how you feel, and then I just kind of let you know like what you need to do while you're getting tattooed, which is, you know, stay still, obviously, breathe, don't hold your breath because you could pass out from that, and also eat because if you don't eat, you're gonna fucking hit the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever passed out while you were tattooing?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No way. So that happens out a lot.
Yeah. A lot of what that is just. What it is, like you didn't nurture yourself, you know, like if you're doing a lot of like strenuous activities, like, you know, if you work out, you know, you're going to want to make sure you have like a good, nice breakfast, or at least something to hold you through, because you're going to hit a point to where you're overexerting yourself and then your body is just going to shut down. It's the same kind of thing with tattooing.
Yeah.
You know, you're putting yourself through trauma, and if you don't have anything to kind of balance out that trauma and you're just going in with like no nutrients, you're going to crash out and get lightheaded, you're gonna get cold, and you're just gonna, you know, it's not gonna be a good time.
You know, thinking back to the moment when I did get this, it makes so much sense why I had such a tough time.
Yeah.
Compared to my right hand, when I got this, it was a breeze, and almost the same time, and I was just like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense of what you just said. Yeah.
Did you not eat?
Dude, it was such a traumatic time.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a couple days after, you know, and then it just like so many emotions, and we weren't sleeping, so I was like, oh, okay. That's why this was so shitty.
That's fair, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I thought you meant I was like torturing your hand.
No. Nothing against you. I just realized like nurturing yourself. I thought about that. I was like, you know, how could you nurture yourself in such a weird time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Sense. No. Josh is great. Like, seriously, he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I gotta ask. When did you start? You said you started tattooing in 2014, but when was the first time you put like needle to skin?
Oh God. So, you know, I've always wanted to be a tattooer. Like in high school, like I always thought, like, I mean, all the bands that I listened to, like, were like either like in the punk scene or like really big in the metal or even like hip hop. So like seeing tattoos, and even like my mom was tattooed. So like growing up, like seeing her tattoos, like I've always kind of like been curious about it. And I've always been into doing art. Like I've always been an artist. And, you know, in high school, I didn't think it was ever really an attainable thing. But like what brought me to it was, you know, I came upon some hard times, like when around like 17 through the age of like 19, 20, I kind of got wrapped up in some bad stuff. Got like, you know, I got on some hard drugs, kind of had to battle with that. And, you know, I was homeless for a little bit. And when I got out of rehab, I started going to NA. And then like my sponsor, so I guess like grant sponsor or whatever, he was like, oh, my son-in-law tattoos. Like, if you ever want to get tattooed, like you should talk to him. Cause I think we brought it up. And so I went to his house, and that's where his son-in-law was tattooing out of. And he started, you know, we started that kind of journey of like getting tattooed. And I kind of brought it up that I wanted to tattoo. And so he tried to teach me. And long story short, like it didn't really work out too well. I mean, learning from someone that isn't in the shop also while like scratching, like there's not really a lot of like learning base from there. But I did start kind of like tattooing on my buddies and stuff. And, you know, it was just doing it for fun. And, then one of my buddies came through to the house while I was tattooing one of our homies, and he was like, hey, you know, like my brother is like a tattooer, right? And I was like, oh, no, actually, yeah, I did know. And he was like, you should, I can set it up and you can talk to him if you want to. And like, I was super stoked because I didn't think like tattooing seriously would ever actually be a thing. So I linked up with him in Vallejo over at Ghost Town Body Arts, what used to be DV8 in Vallejo. Okay, I don't know if you ever remember DV8.
Yeah, I remember DV8, yep.
Yeah. So I ended up like going there. We talked about it. I showed him my portfolio. I showed him some of my scratcher tattoos. He's like, first off, don't show me that shit. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. But he like ran me through some stuff. He was like, I need you to draw this, draw that. So I did it right there. And then like, you know, he took me on and I started like learning the right way. Like I got a real apprenticeship. And I guess like my first official actual tattoo was in 2014. And oh, wow. Yeah, that's how it kind of started.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow. I always wonder, like, how do you convince somebody to let them be your first like client without any experience? Is it like a friend or someone you
usually
didn't know?
Yeah, like a lot, like what my mentor told me, he's like, you know, you're not going to practice on like lemons and oranges or like pigskin, like you're going to tattoo on people.
Nice.
And I mean, it's a little easier to tell someone that's like a close friend, like I'm going to tattoo you for free, or like you can just pay for the supplies, and you know, whatever I do I'll fix later on down the road. So I had like a sheet, and he was like, all right, so now that you're getting ready to start tattooing, you should like make a sheet of like designs that you think you'd be comfortable with. So I had like a sheet of like 7 things. There was like a Cupid baby, there was a rose, a dagger, like a bird, and like just really simple like tattoo material. And I kind of just had people choose from that. And that's kind of like how like it started. And yeah, it's really just telling someone, yeah, whatever I fuck up, I'll fix later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry if I'm getting like super like nerdy on this.
No, you're good. You're
like,
good.
I mean, I have so many tattoos. I've never wanted to be a tattoo artist, but I have the, like, you know, when I'm getting tattooed, I always wonder like, are you able to describe the difference between tattooing on some skin and then drawing it out on a piece of paper? Like,
oh yeah.
Like I know there's a difference, but what is it like? How do you translate the two?
You really can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like tattooing on skin is just, it's hard to describe, but I mean, you have a very like spongy consistency, which skin is, you know, you have to stretch it, you know, everybody's body's different. So like as a piece of paper, you know, we know what's going to be like drawing on a piece of paper every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's paper. That's all it is. You have a pencil, it's going to make those marks on it. But as opposed to like tattooing, everybody's body's different. You know, you have, you know, your people who are a little more sensitive, you know, they don't really go out much. So like there's not a lot of sunlight that they're exposed to as much. So their skin's a little easier to tattoo. And then you have your construction workers that are just like really fucking like doing like hard work.
Yeah.
And so they've built up a lot of like toughness from being out like in like those climates and stuff like that, to where their body almost has like a layer of just protection just from like, you know, doing that like real hard work. Mm-hmm. So sometimes tattooing on them is a little harder, but doable, you know what I mean? I think that'd be the difference, you know, drawing on paper, you know what you're going to get, tattooing on a person, like everybody's body's different.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. I gotta try one. I'm just gonna buy a gun one day. I'm just gonna tattoo my.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna stick to cutting meat and serving boba. But I'm not gonna lie. It always pops in my head, and I just wonder like the difference. I can't even draw, but.
I feel like anybody can draw, though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I feel like, it just depends on how passionate you are about something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, like, at the beginning of, like, you getting into food and stuff, you couldn't just, like, well, maybe I can't say that you couldn't, you could probably just be able to do whatever, but you had to learn some things,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I feel like, everybody has, like, I think all that talent really is just how dedicated you are to learning something.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
as long as you just put through on, what you want to do, you can really, like, everything's limitless.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Definitely practice if you're going to tattoo yourself.
Yeah. Just hearing that out loud made me, no, it's not gonna happen.
Just tattoo the meat before you cook it.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Have you ever done, there's a difference between like some pig skin and then like some human skin? There has to be, right?
I'm sure. I've never actually tattooed on.
So you did it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I've tattooed like an orange, like way back in the day at my buddy's house, but I mean, that's still not comparable.
So you weren't, if I got this right, you weren't tattooed before you decided to become a tattoo artist?
No, I've been tattooed.
Okay,
Yeah.
What was your first tattoo?
My first one was my whole chest.
Whoa.
Yeah, I figured I might as well go big, and like pick a really shitty spot so everything else would be easier, which is wrong. I mean, after a while, tattoos just suck to get.
Yeah.
But yeah, like right when I turned 18, I was like, I got to get tattooed. Like everyone that I know has one. My mom has one. I got to do it. So like I did my research. I like asked a lot of my friends like where do you go? And then they brought up this dude, Lonnie. Do you know Lonnie?
Yeah, I've been tattooed by Lonnie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was working at Heaven or Hell when I found him. So I like went to him, like told him my idea, and then we did it like in 3 sessions.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Lonnie in a long time. Probably doesn't even remember me, but I think I have like a few tattoos from him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and Carla, my wife, his
yeah.
sister, we got a sweet little love tattoo here, and then
Okay.
she has it there. Yeah, he's the OG in town now, man. Right?
Yeah, he's been around for a while. I feel like a lot of Vacaville tattooing has like stemmed from like one shop, which was Dirty Harry's. I can't really remember like when they opened. It was definitely before my time, but Lonnie, my boss, Ant, and then Phil Geck, they've all stemmed from that shop and have like become successful from tattooing from that and branched out and are now successful business owners and tattooers.
Wow.
Anchor tattoo, by the way.
Yeah,
Anchor
tattoo. Yeah, not oval.
God, man, I'm so embarrassed. That's really cool. I always remember Lonnie as the metal militia dude.
Yeah, he is the dirt bike guy for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And what did you get on your chest? You don't have to show anything. Like, what was it?
Oh,
Just
it's
a whole piece?
yeah. So it's like a heart, and then it has bat wings, and it says through hell and back.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
So as you, do you have any space left on your body? Are you done?
I have all the shitty spots left. I got like
So all I got is left is my gooch, man. Dude.
Fuck, man, not there. Yeah, I think I have like my ribs still. Like I have my stomach done, my chest. I have a really bad back tattoo, and the goal is to actually cover up my whole torso. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to like mentally prepare for that.
I am not ready for that. I've only heard stories of how bad it is here. Is
Oh
it
yeah,
true?
those are your horror stories for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like someone trying to pull your guts out.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
Because I mean,
It's
eventually
weird.
I want to cover my body, and I have like, if you look at me, like you could just tell, like, oh, this guy's a bitch. Because out of all the tattoos, you can tell. You'll know.
Yeah, dude, it's always the big dudes too. Like fucking, like you could see like the smallest little thing, like a little lady. She'll be getting her like whole ribs tattooed, and like you'll walk by, like, how long you been going? She's like, oh, 6 hours. Like, how are you doing that? And then you got like your big old dude that probably like body power lifts and fucking eats steak like 5 times a day is crying on the table. You know what I mean?
I've had another tattoo artist on this pod. He says the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
He says the exact same thing, man.
I sure hope there aren't any like petite people getting tattooed the same time as me because I don't want to be like, oh shit.
Oh, they'll show you up for sure.
Yeah. And, you bring up such a good point because that's something that like that's part of the experience. You're getting tattooed with other people, and then you're seeing like this person like, dude, he's not moving. He's not wincing or anything. I was like, I gotta hold this in.
See, no, see, that's weird because like every time I imagine getting tattooed, it's like, oh, it's gonna be me and the tattoo artist in like a room. And that's it. But I know it's like they do it like in a studio where there's like multiple tattoo artists and people like getting tattooed there, and it's just like, fuck, I'm gonna embarrass myself, dude.
No, man, no. Like you're thinking like you don't know what it's gonna happen, so you're assuming the worst. But like right when you sit down, dude, you're gonna see it's really not all that bad.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be just fine.
And you're getting it where again?
Forearm.
You're getting some like Cthulhu shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope we can just do Cthulhu, man. That's gonna be super cool.
That's dope.
Excited for it.
Cthulhu.
Yep.
You'll be cool. I mean, in my opinion, I think this is not too crazy for me. Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, we're talking about like stomachs and I mean, I have like not a big tattoo, but I have a tattoo on my back that goes down the right of my panel. That one was the doozy for me. Like,
oh yeah,
it hurt.
Yeah, that's pretty much comparable. Like, I feel like your whole torso is just Spice City.
Like it was, and for the longest time I was blaming like the tattoo artist. I was like, dude, he's heavy handed. And like, I feel like he was trying to kill me on purpose.
Yeah.
No, dude. Everybody I talked to that has like back pieces, they're like, dude, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, especially since it's a cover up. But
isn't it the weirdest thing, man? Like, I mean, dude, your whole body's tattooed, but we continue to go back and like experience this pain. And the moment you sit down, you're just like, what am I doing? Every time.
Oh yeah, right when that line hits, it's just like, why the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
this,
what is wrong with this?
Shit.
But that feeling after you're done, feels so good. It makes it worth it.
Oh yeah, it's an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like you went through the journey of getting like this big piece that obviously means something to you, and once you finish it, you're like, I fucking did that. Like that's super awesome. Like I sat through that. I've earned it. I went through the pain, and now I have this to show off forever. You know what I mean? And it's literally a part of you for forever. It's probably one of the biggest investments you can ever make, just because it's literally there forever.
See, this is why I hope that I don't hate it, because I do want to get sleeves eventually.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, I don't know why, but like I envision myself having sleeves. Like I don't know if that's weird or what.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, I want like both arms sleeve. You know what I mean?
That's how it starts, man. It's like Lay's chips. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can say that.
No, you're good. You're good, dude. Yeah.
It's like once you have one, you gotta go for more.
Yeah.
But tattooing isn't as scary as you think it is. You know what I mean? It's really just about, I think, an experience. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be talking. We're gonna be chatting it up. Having a good time, and it's just gonna be like this unique experience, and it's really not gonna be as bad as you really think it's gonna be. But one of my other tattooer buddies came through, like I think on the second session, and he just kind of came and held my hand and was like, "You should breathe through it," and I did, and I went for like another hour. But he had to bust all the numbing spray on me, like damn near the whole bottle.
That makes me feel so much better. That makes me feel so much better that you use numbing spray.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like there's a curse of becoming a tattooer. Like I feel like once you decide to be a tattooer and you're doing it, immediately you suck at getting tattooed.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Like after hour 2, I'm just like, yeah, we can break this up.
Hour 2 is the magic hour. Like for me too. I'm like, oh, dude. This is like, and I'm thinking because now that wait till you turn 35.
Yeah,
it gets old.
It gets harder as you get older, man.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true, man. Yeah.
So what's the longest session that you've tattooed?
That I've tattooed, that I've gotten tattooed.
That you've tattooed.
Oh, I think it's 12 hours.
Wow.
I think we started at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And then I think we tattooed her till 2 o'clock in the morning. So like from 11 to 2. And obviously there's breaks in there, but it all added up to like 12 hours. She was like moving to another state, and she's like, I got to get my half sleeve done. And she's like, I want you to do it. Like I want you to go as far as you can, but if it doesn't get done, like we can figure something out. But we ended up just busting through it and like just did the whole thing, like whole half sleeve. Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm definitely going to ask how she felt after it, but dude, how did you feel after a session?
Oh, whooped, dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, that takes so much out of you. Cause there's the concentration side, and there's also just the physical aspect of it. Even though like it looks like you're just sitting down, I mean, you're bent over in weird spots, you're just like really concentrated. So like after you're done, you just feel like you want to stay in bed for like a couple days.
Yeah. Did you have the tattoo the next day?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Guy.
Yeah,
You're a
grind
warrior.
city, grind city.
Tattoo warrior. So, you right at this point in your career, you just live, breathe, and eat tattoos right now. That's
Pretty
like
much.
all you do? I love
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
I try to, I'm trying to figure out how to balance family and tattooing now. Now that I have a son, like I really want to like be there more for him. And I feel like because of how soon all the busyness for me came, I didn't really know how to prepare for it. So it ended up me like tattooing on days off or later on, and like just kind of like this voice in the back of my head saying like, if you don't finish their tattoo, they're not gonna be able to get tattooed for a long time. So like there's just like this push where I was like, I have to finish this.
Yeah.
But now that I have like a little more structure, like I definitely want to get back to and like be there with my family a little bit more, and really just try to be like dad mode for my son.
Nice. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, man.
How old is your son?
He just turned 1 in October.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Is it like as life changing as they say, having a child?
Yeah. I feel like your priorities get shifted like right away. Like what matters the most, is really just making sure he's healthy and happy.
Yeah.
Just trying to provide him a good life, like for him and my fiance, just really trying to like provide them like a good, stable support, so that way they can grow and be stoked and they don't have to struggle like I had to struggle,
Beautiful.
That's awesome, man.
So 18 years from now, he's going to be like, hey, Papa Josh, I want to be a tattoo artist. What are you going to tell him?
Dude, I hope so.
Nice.
I hope so.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I'm going to probably let him tattoo me when he's maybe like 5. I'm going to let him do a little doodle on me.
Dude, that reminds me. You see that little kid that's like hella raw at tattooing? I saw it on
What?
Instagram. There's like this
No
kid
way.
from, I think like in Australia or something. He's probably like 5 or he's probably like 7, doing like traditional style tattoo right now.
Interesting.
And like, it's looking way better than the stuff I have. You know?
Oh
what I mean?
shit!
It's
I
just
better
pretty
watch
cool.
out, man.
Yeah. So I think it's super possible that little Josh could be tattooing at 5 years old.
Oh yeah, I mean, regardless how it looks, like I have a couple, like my buddy Ant, like his children have tattooed him. I got a buddy out in Wisconsin, like his daughter has tattooed him like every 5 years, so like 5, 10, 15, and you can like see like how good it gets. So
Wow.
I feel like if I just let him, like I can like show him like, look what you did when you were 5, and you'd be like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Maybe I should start doing it or something.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Also-
Obviously, we're like as guided as possible. I mean, like I'm not gonna just be like, here, figure it out.
Yeah. Side note, I love the fact that like because like when I was perusing through your Instagram when we first talked about it, like I love how like you have a ton of tattoos and then out of nowhere there's just like this super normal photo of you and your family. And it just felt so out of place. I was like, wait, did I switch accounts or something?
Yeah, it makes his page unique.
Yeah, I gotta show the love for the family
he's a
too.
family man.
Yeah, yeah. I have like a personal page too that's like for close friends and stuff. But
nice.
I gotta still throw them out there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Hell yeah.
I love my family. They're the best. They're the best.
Love it. Love it. Oh, I remember what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Of course, based off of your page again, I saw, this is like a while back, but that you used to suspend. Is that what it was? You used to suspend.
Yeah.
Dude, man, like.
What do you mean?
it just, yeah, I'll let Josh explain.
All right.
Okay, so suspension is a form of so it's a piercing technique. I don't even know what to call it because it's a whole bunch of things. But what you do is you get like these like anywhere from like I think it's like an 8 gauge needle. I'm not a piercer, so I can't really say like what everything is. But they put either hooks in your back or whatever the part of your body is, and then they hook you up to a cord, and then they lift you up from those hooks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did it once. It was great. Like I want to do it again.
What? It
I
was
want to
great?
do it again.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it was super crazy. It was super awesome. Like I felt like I like left my body for a bit.
Really?
Yeah, so like how they did it for me is like when I started apprenticing, like the piercer there, Mitch over at Ghost Town Body Art, shout out Mitch. He was like, "Hey man, like you gotta suspend. Like you're an apprentice, so you can't really say no." And I'm like,
Oh no.
"Well, I can, but I want to do it. So yeah, fuck it, let's do it."
Oh my God.
So like I told all my friends, like everybody that I knew that might be interested, I'm like, you have to come, because I figured that if all these people drove from like wherever they were to Vallejo, which is like where we're from, like 30 plus minutes, that if they drove all that way and I bitched out, then I'm a horrible friend. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was like, I got all these people here, so I have to do it.
It's like you peer pressured yourself.
Oh yeah, dude. I set myself up to where I couldn't back out, and yeah, we did the piercing stuff, which wasn't actually that bad, and he hooked me up to the rig, and yeah, he was like, all right, man, you're gonna feel a bit of pressure, and then we're just gonna go slowly. So like he had me kind of like do this thing where like once you're like hooked up, you like walk back and walk forth, and then he kind of lifts up to where like you start kind of going like this.
Oh my God.
But I didn't get that far. I'm like, you're gonna have to help me out, man. So like I held on to his hands and he kind of like pushed me up, and like right when I got in the air, it's when like everything changed, and like I couldn't really. I was neither here nor there. I was just kind of like having fun. Like I was like swinging around, like it wasn't, there's some people that all they do is just kind of hang there, and that always look kind of boring, you know? Like I feel like there's got to be more to it. So he like started pushing me. He's like, you should kick off the walls. He's like, you should try to kick the ceiling. So like, yeah. So I was like trying to go, and like I was trying to put my footprint on. And I remember one time I went up and kick, and then I caught some slack. So when I went down, it caught, and I went, ugh, and that shit sucked. That shit sucked really bad. But yeah, it was super cool. I'd definitely say, I mean, you should get tattooed first. But if you ever come in contact with being able to try it, I'd say give it a shot.
So how many hooks did you have on you for
I
that?
had 4.
4?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
What-
4 hooks.
What's recovery like? Is it?
Honestly, not that bad. Like, I think the weirdest part about it is when you're connected to the hooks, you create, I wouldn't say separation, but probably that. There's like these air bubbles that
Oh my God.
get put in just from being hung up. That obviously there's holes, so.
Yeah.
I get science, however science works. So after the end of it, when they took all the hooks out, he's like, all right, I got to massage your back because we got to get all the air bubbles out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, if we close up and you have all these air pockets, if one of those like bursts, you'll die. And I was like,
oh, you tell me that now.
Shit. Yeah, I was like, oh shit. I'm pretty sure he warned me before, but I was just so focused on like the act of doing this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he started massaging me, and then like, I feel like my back farted.
Oh my
because like
gosh.
when he pushed it kind of went, so it was like super weird. Like he was just pushing all the air out, and it kind of just felt like I was like like air, like I don't know, like the bubble wrap.
Yeah,
Like every time
yeah.
we do it, it'd be like pop, 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 and then some were like little fart noises. And after that, I slept the best sleep in my life that I ever had. I think I slept for like 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt like a whole new person when I got done.
So it's like a whole ass experience. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he fixed some of my back problems too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
you a wild boy, Josh. You a wild boy, dude. Would you ever do that?
Huh?
Would you ever do something like that?
I don't know. It's like he said, I need to get a tattoo first.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Start
Maybe.
small.
I mean, that's the same shop you recommended for me to get my piercing, right?
Yeah, Mitch. Yeah, I mean, tattooing and piercing are like total different fields of things, but yeah, if you're gonna do anything like that, definitely see about getting your ears pierced and see if you even like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Yo, that'd be wild if we just do suspensions here.
Oh
Just
my
like-
god.
you just hang from
dude.
this thing,
Oh
dude.
Oh, dude, I'll volunteer. I'll do it. I'm sure if I hit up Mitch, I'm like, we're gonna go suspend at Mad Alpaca, he'd be like, I'll be right there.
And it's like a whole subculture, just like
Yeah, so like body modifications are all in like different categories. There's subcategories of certain things. You have tattooing, which is its own thing, and then you have piercing, and then underneath piercing you have body stretching or body modification, where you like I have my ears stretched, so stretching your ears is like a thing with that. You have your suspension. There's like play piercing or something where they just like do art with piercings on you, which is too much for me. And then you have like scarification and branding. There's like this weird thing where like they take like this like glass orb in the sun and they just like hold it to where the sun just burns the design into you.
Wow.
whoa.
Yeah, there's some weird. There's implants too where they like you can get like horns and
Yeah.
shit, like metal or silicone, however that works. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of things you can do to your body.
Man.
Yeah.
So how much of that list have you done yourself?
Mostly tattoos, and then yeah, stretch my ears. I've gotten a bunch of piercings and suspension. I don't know about more of the extreme stuff, man. I mean, I've thought about it. Like I've thought about splitting my tongue, but
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
what I
kind of
meant,
freaky.
yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it looks cool.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think. I don't know that.
Dude, just think, you
how
won't have to use
painful
your
is that,
fucking
dude?
hands to eat fries. You just go, and then it's there.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
You're
the
right.
only reason why you need to do it.
I mean, we're gonna eat fries for the rest of our lives.
Dude, could you
might
imagine,
as well make it
bro,
easier.
you're eating sushi. Yeah, you don't need chopsticks. You just like,
Oh yeah, just pick it up. You might have to do like some tongue curls or something. I
Yeah.
don't fucking know.
dude. But
That has to hurt.
this. Yeah, no.
My
one,
God.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that have done it, and they have their war stories about it, and like a lot of what it is, like they say, like the actual like initial cut like stings, but like it isn't bad because after that they have to like sew up the sides, and then you have to like stick some form of barrier between your tongue, usually like cotton or however.
Yeah.
And it's to prevent it from like reattaching itself, because if you reattach, then you're gonna have to resplit it. Yeah. Yeah. And I want to do it, but also like my job being a tattooer, like people will have to talk to me, and if I can't talk for a couple weeks,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some problems.
Yeah.
You know, you might tell me you want a rose, and I'm like, dude, this fucking cool alpaca is awesome.
How mad would you be if you split your tongue and then you can't taste fries anymore? The whole reason you got it. It's like, yeah.
Do you even is there a risk for you to lose taste in your mouth?
I don't think so, because your taste buds are on a whole other thing. So I think as long as you have those, or they somehow slice all those off, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Is there a seam in your tongue, like down the middle?
No. I don't think so.
I don't
No,
know.
right?
Yeah, I think so I know like the tongue has like two operating styles. Like, you know, you can lift it up on your left and on your right. So like once you separate them, they can kind of like independently do their own thing.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a bitch.
See,
dude.
the sun thing is what's got me intrigued. Is like that's kind of cool.
No branding.
Wait, is that what the branding? I thought that was the scarring where they do the design. Of
Oh yeah, so there's different ways of doing that. I'm not familiar with most of it. Like I've seen them on like, you know, documentaries or
Yeah.
just like being out and about in conventions and stuff. But yeah, I don't know how they do it, but it looks super crazy, and I don't think I'm on board for that.
Because like when I hear branding, I think it's like heated fucking metal, and then you're just like, you know what I mean?
yeah, they do that too. I
Do
mean,
that.
yeah,
Burns, I think, is the worst.
yeah, that shit
Like,
sucks. That shit
Personally,
sucks.
like it's like
Yeah,
I hate getting burnt.
yeah, like grabbing like a hot pan. No one wants to do that.
Yeah.
Imagine like wanting to like do that, but for an elongated amount of time.
You know what I've been recently seeing, like on Instagram and all the socials, is like people just blacking out their arm.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that's just becoming more popular like recently, or am I just seeing that because it's like on my algorithm?
I think you've just been recently seeing it, but it's been around for a while. Like I remember seeing that stuff back in like the Tumblr days when Tumblr
Oh
was
wow.
cool. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't
yeah.
know that was a thing, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah, I mean the most common one I've seen is like when they black out their eyes.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole other
Oh, is
thing.
that a
That's a
different
whole
thing?
other
Okay,
thing.
I
Yeah,
thought-
yeah.
No, but
Okay.
like someone will I saw like someone they blacked out their forearm,
Yeah.
and then they just left a little keyhole. It was kind of cool, but like it just seems so extreme.
It is. I mean, a lot of it too. I think what it originated from was, I mean, don't quote me, but a lot of it is, you know, covering like old tattoos, just in a mass form. And I think just like people saw it and were just like, that's super awesome, and I just want to do it just to do it.
Yeah.
And it just became like this whole subculture, and a lot of it is just trying to get I don't know if it is, but like trying to get as much done as you can in one session. Like, there's like this group of tattooers. I think they're either from France or Italy, but it's called like Brutal Black or something like that,
Yeah.
where like the whole session really is just to see how much you can take.
Really?
Yeah, and they'll go as far as they want to go until they're like, yeah, I'm done tattooing you, and you just have to sit there and take it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know about all
Not
that.
your flavor, right?
Nah, it's not my flavor. I like creating like, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pieces for people.
I mean, it's pretty cool, like working with like negative space for the art and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I've done
It's
it. Like
interesting.
I've definitely done like blackout tattoos, and I do like doing it. Like I have a buddy that I'm working on right now. We've been doing it for a long time. He had like a spawn tattoo on the side of his leg.
That's sick.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have been sick if it was good, but he obviously we blacked out his whole leg because it wasn't. But yeah, we've been blacking out his leg, and then on top of it, once all the blackout was done, we did like white over it, like a design to where we did white ink over it, so that when it heals, it almost looked like this like faint design over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. He's definitely a trooper. So like, shout out Josh, you're a maniac. but
Yeah.
super dedicated, awesome guy.
Dope,
Yeah.
dope. For those of you who are wondering, Josh kind of categorizes your style as neo-traditional,
Yeah.
mainly.
Yeah, that's mainly what I focus on, that, and recently like dot work, black and gray.
Gotcha. So, I mean, there's artists all over the world, and they put themselves in a category or not. Like, how did you find yourself falling into this neo-traditional and then black and gray dot? Sorry if I messed that up.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I've always been drawn to like neo-traditional. At first, when I found out about it, I wasn't sure what it was called. But there was these artists like Dave Tavenall and Mike Stockings. They're two different styles. But they always had like this like specific flair about how they did their tattooing. Like one was more like on like the comic side of things, where it had like almost like a comic book vibe, but also brought up like graffiti style too. And then the other guy, it just kind of looked like if you took, how do I explain it? Like art, almost like realism mixed with traditional, and it just became like this baby of the both. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, traditional is just the foundation of tattooing and like where it came from, especially like in America with like electric tattooing. You know, you had, you know, Sailor Jerry, you know, you had Burt Grimm and everything from the Bowery and all that was just the designs that like kind of like created the foundation of what tattooing in America and beyond of what that was. You know what I mean? It's like your bread and butter. And then once people started like mixing certain flavors around with it, it became like this like cool, different style of like, it's almost like you keep the foundation of traditional while spinning it into like something a little different. And I started noticing when I started getting into tattooing that was always something that I was drawn towards. I was like, this is really cool. Like you have the foundation of what made tattooing, as well as kind of like mixing like realism or even like, you know, oil painting. Like you can find some of those references in these tattoos. And I was like, that's super awesome, and I want to like learn how to do that, because that way, like, you know, there really isn't a lot of limits to what I can or cannot do. So I started kind of like following those artists and just kind of like molding into like what I thought neo-traditional was.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry if I ranted on a little
No,
bit.
dude, you're good, dude. The more,
Yeah.
like I love listening and
Yeah.
learning about people
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
podcast, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think with neo-traditional too, it's there's not like a specific form of it. Like there's so like kind of like how like I explained how there's like different styles of like body modification. There's like different forms of I think how neo-traditional is, and I think because of how vast it is, like there's just so many options of how you can do it, and I've always just been like so fascinated with that.
Nice. And so being within the tattoo community, what is it like hanging out with other tattoo artists? Like, for example, I know like a lot of chefs, they kind of hang out with
Yeah.
each other and they shoot the shit. Sometimes they talk shit about other chefs, but you know, just like behind scenes and out of love, you know what I mean? I don't, but just like, what's it like being a tattoo artist, hanging out with other tattooers and everything?
You know, I think it's definitely good. You know, you want to, you know, life's all about making connections and, you know, learning and growing. And I feel when you create relationships with other tattooers, you kind of build off of each other, and then you can always grow. And then that's one of the main reasons why, like, one of the reasons that I really liked tattooing was traveling. Because like early on in when I was growing up, I was in bands and I've always wanted to tour, and that didn't work out. So when I saw that like tattooing created that possibility, I was able to meet a lot more people. And when you connect with other artists and you build off that, like you go home with something new every single time. And you just create like good friendships. Because when you get two tattooers in a room, we can be there till 5 o'clock in the morning, just literally talking about tattoos, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
What was your band called?
Soup.
You don't have
Some
to say.
corn, it was corny, but it was like Tomorrow's Yesterday.
Yeah.
And then there's Abyssinia, and then the last band I was in was called In the Eyes of a Mistress, and we did one tour. It was super awesome, but that kind of like started a fire. Like, you're gonna travel the world, you got to do this. Yeah.
Can I find that, like your music somewhere in the universe?
Yeah, you can. Might have to let you search that. But.
What part of the band were you like the vocalist, the
The last band I was, I've replaced the vocalist. I don't know why he left, but they needed like another vocalist, and I kind of hopped on. It didn't last too long. I think like after the tour, we all kind of separated for different reasons. But I was never on any of the recordings there. But you can find like my high school bands and stuff on the internet if you look hard enough.
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. No, that's cool though. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
So you graduated high school in 2010. I graduated 6 years before you, and I feel like so you got your first tattoo. How old were you?
18.
You were 18, and I feel like the game has changed so much with regards to. I mean, just how the way people look at you. I remember I got my first tattoo like that, like was able to be shown, and then it was like, it was by Lonnie. It was like the skull I got.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working, and this lady goes up to me and she's like, you know, you're gonna go to hell, right? And I was like, what the? I'm not even exaggerating. And then she crosses herself.
Oh,
I'm like right in front of me, and then I think she was praying for me. I was like,
she protected herself.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But like, and this wasn't. I mean, I got my first tattoo when I was 18, so I was like 21. So this is like 2007, dude. Not too long ago. That like, the tattoo world is like completely changed.
Yeah. Those same people that probably were doing that are like now getting tattooed too.
Yes.
You know, it's become more like back in the day, and like even before our times, like it was majority like military or just like, you know, your badass like biker dudes, like outlaw, like nitty gritty dudes, or just like your, you know, your blue collar people. And now you have you know, you have your soccer moms, you have your dentists, you got like policemen getting tattooed. Like everybody's getting tattooed, and it's becoming more recognized as not really like you're a troublesome person anymore.
Yeah, it's being more normalized now.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you like that the stigma is kind of going away, or does it take away from the badassness of it, like from before?
No, I think, you know, tattoos, you know, I feel like it's I've always liked tattooing because it was a way to express yourself. You know what I mean? Like you have everything that you like visibly shown, and I feel like it just creates like a way to, you know, what's the word? It's just a way to like really just like show how like your individuality pretty much.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you hit it on the head.
Yeah.
And you'll find out soon, man. There's nothing like when you get your first tattoo, or even till this day, you know, you'll kind of look at yourself in the mirror and like, wow, like I appreciate like the art that I have on my body, and there'll never be a day where you look at a certain tattoo and it takes you like straight back to where you were. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like what's it called? I've been thinking about it lately. It's like, oh shit, like I've been overthinking about like what I want to get.
Oh, I know.
But then I was like, man, it's like who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like someone just well, that's because I fucking DM them all the time. It's like,
well, every time I come here to play Yu-Gi-Oh too, you're just kind of like, oh, I got this idea, and I'm like, oh, what's this time?
I think before you get your first tattoo, that's very natural.
That's the hardest thing. Once you get your first one, dude, it gets easier. You know what I mean? Because you know it's the first thing you'll ever do in this, so you feel like you're putting some pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
But I feel like that idea that we talked about, like the Cthulhu one, I think that you should just stick with that. Like I think you've referenced that a few times, so I feel like since it's been referenced the most, you should just stick with that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I'll take care of you, man.
You gonna have a jacket for me too?
I'll make sure to have one for you. I'll make sure to have one for you.
We can't end this podcast without talking about the fact that you are a customer of ours here. Mm-hmm. How did you get into this other subculture of tabletop gaming?
Yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Oh man,
you're like a man of many masks. I love it, dude.
Yeah, I do have a lot of interests and stuff. So I've always kind of like been in like I collected Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards growing up, and I've always been, you know, what you call a nerd. And I've always just really been into that kind of stuff. And I think what brought me into Yu-Gi-Oh was my buddy Octavio that works at the shop, and he was like, "Hey man, like, you remember the card game Yu-Gi-Oh?" And I was like, yeah. And he was just like, "Oh, me and my buddies play. Like, you want to get into it?" And I was like, "I don't know, dude. Like, when I get into Yu-Gi-Oh, when I get into card games, I feel like I dive really deep because I got a lot of Magic cards. I kind of got hooked, you know what I mean? And like I'm a competitive person, so I feel like it was a good healthy outlet."
Yeah.
just to be fully transparent, I've never even played Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic.
No, you played Magic before.
Yeah, you're right. You're
have
right.
Magic
You're right.
cards,
But I've been very open with the fact that when we went into this
Yeah.
venture together, I was purely just an investor. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, yeah.
And I think I promised Jello like 10 times now that I'd come here to learn. But I'm gonna make that promise again. I think it'd be cool if one day us three sit down and then we play some Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, dude.
I need a new hobby, man.
You're
Yes.
gonna be
I need a new
so
hobby.
confused when we
It
show you how
is
Yu-Gi-Oh
the
does,
most
yeah.
confusing card game
But-
out there,
but
but
it's
it's
pos-
fun.
Yeah,
It's super fun.
it's confusing.
There's just like each card interacts with different cards differently. You know what I mean? Like it's, like there's no better way to explain it because like
Okay.
some cards will have like a paragraph of text that's like, hey, if this is your target, you do this, or this is your target, you do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
this
it's just-
phrasings. weird
Yeah,
phrasings.
exactly.
Yeah, because
So-
like Magic, you have on the card, it'll have like something like haste or double strike, and no matter what, you know it. Like once you learn the terminologies, you know what those cards do, and that card's gonna do that. But with Yu-Gi-Oh, there's like certain phrasings. Like if there's a comma or a period, that means that card, even though it says the same things, but because of the placement of like the period or the comma, like it just interacts differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super weird. You have to like pay really close attention. Like I'm still learning. Like I'm not topping anywhere in Yu-Gi-Oh, but like one of these days I'll get like first place here. I swear to God.
So what is it about like Yu-Gi-Oh that like draws you in so much and makes you want to play? What do you love about Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, I've always really loved anime, and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, and I remember like being like, I wish this was the actual card game. And then once I found it was, like I kind of dove into that and just collected. And now that I'm actually competing, I feel like it's just like a cool way to like relive my childhood almost, but also kind of have like a healthy outlet to keep my mind right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Talking to Jello, I've learned that there are different types of players.
Yeah.
There's some people who like they talk shit. There's some people who are bad losers, and
Yep.
there's, like who are you within the Yu-Gi-Oh world?
Oh, I'm just
As a
here to
player.
hang out and have
Yeah.
a good time,
Dude,
man.
honestly,
You could
yeah.
kick my ass, and I'll just be like, oh, sick. That's fine. That's fine. I'll get you next time. No big deal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine just sitting across you and like just wanting to like say something, like, what's up, Josh?
Oh yeah, with my buddies or people that I know, like we talk shit the whole time.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's fun. but-
Definitely. You can't not talk shit.
Oh,
If
yeah.
If it's like your friend and you get paired against them, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to enjoy this free dub. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
like-
yeah. Oh, that you always hate hearing shit like that too.
Like, are there mind games involved in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah. No definitely.
way.
I feel like the best way to describe it, it's like you're playing chess and you're playing poker all at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because you have the strategy of like, where you want to take the king, which is like, getting your opponent down to 0 life. But at the same time, it's got that poker feel where you got to like prove that like, or you got to like make sure your opponent doesn't know what you have in their hand or in your hand.
Yep.
Yeah, so you got to kind of like make them think that like you don't have the best shit. And then when it's
Yep.
your turn, you just wreck them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially like with Yu-Gi-Oh, you set stuff face down. So it's kind of like if you pass your turn and then your opponent's just like set and then like 2 trap like magic or trap cards are on that zone, you're kind of like, fuck.
What is that?
Yeah, it's like, what are those 2 cards? And like, are those the 2 cards that's gonna stop me from winning? Are those 2 cards just like to help him try to win? Because if it's gonna stop you, then you're really concerned about it. But if it's them, like if it's to buff them up, but then you're like, I can probably handle that. Mm-hmm. You kind of want to play appropriately.
You also
Like,
got people that just set them down and they're nothing. It could be like a
Yeah.
polymerization that doesn't even need to be there, but they're just trying to make you think they have something for
Yep,
you.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's the biggest fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's just like fucking levels to that. Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
shit.
There's levels to this shit.
I think that's one of the drives for it too. It's because like you sit at home and then you like kind of like make your deck, and then just finally sitting down and playing it and it functioning just like gives you like this rush. You're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
shit! It's like, oh my god! Like the way that works is exactly how I thought it was gonna work.
Yeah.
And then you like end up winning, and then you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the best feelings too. Just like knowing that your deck can like combo off and make like this really scary board. And it's cool nowadays too. Like now that we have things like YouTube and stuff, like I think like there's like a whole thing of like Yu-Gi tubers where like they're famous because they talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. They like show you deck profiles. Like you can go on like if you want to get into it, you can like look online like this is the deck I want to build. Like so say you type in like I don't know Drytron or whatever. There's like a bunch of different deck profiles. They'll explain how their mechanics work, why they chose these cards, and then they'll also show you like how to do the combos. So that way you kind of learn with them. So that way when you go and play, you understand a little bit of what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
No, honestly, I mean, a lot of people like would go to events just to interview the people and like, what's it called? We had one of our players here that won, that topped at an event, and they basically,
Who was that?
TJ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and then like they interviewed him and they basically had him go over his deck, kind of like what he's trying to hit. Like a lot of times they'd be like, oh, why'd you put that card there? And then they'd be like, oh, it's because this card protects me from like the weakness of the deck, kind of thing. And like they really try to, they kind of try to get the feel of like the reasoning behind why somebody put a card in a deck, kind of thing.
Can you go pro?
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think there's as much money in going pro, but
But you can go pro.
you definitely got to have love for this game
Yep.
if
Yeah.
you want to play it for sure. Like it's definitely like it's because it makes you happy.
Like I think for Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, they can't do money prizes. Like it can't be like a sanctioned thing because I think they're trying to market it for more as a kids game. So they don't want to.
It is not a kid's game.
100%. Like they don't want to.
Oh my God.
They don't want to introduce like this aspect of gambling into it.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
if you look at Magic, where like they know that who their market is and whatnot, and like they'd have like pro tours where you can win like a couple grand kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's definitely two different sides to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely casual and competitive for sure.
Yep.
Very intriguing. You know what I love about this place most is like I'll walk in here once a week before a pod, and I'll come in like 30 minutes earlier. Like there's just so many different walks of life. Like all your
yeah.
customers are just so different. I love your guys' community is so cool. So cool, man. Like
Yeah.
everybody's got love for each other, and like today, like that table walked over there and they're just checking each other out, and I was like, this is dope, man.
Yeah,
This is dope.
dude. Because this is like a safe space for nerds. You know what I mean? Like you come in here and then you're like, oh, dude, this is where my people are. Like you could just kind of like you would see it all the time if like on our busy days when there's multiple games going on. Like it could be Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh and like Warhammer shit going on over there. But like you'd see some of the Magic people come up and be like, "Oh, that's interesting. Like, how does that work?" kind of
Yeah.
thing or whatever. Or like the best part about it is the fact that a lot of our community kind of like dabbles in everyone's hobby. Like you'd see somebody who's playing Yu-Gi-Oh would walk up to like a Magic tournament going on and be like, "Oh shit, that's pretty good." Because like, they also kind of play it, but they're there for something else. You know what I mean? Like they all kind of just meld together.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well.
You know John, right? That comes to Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff on Fridays.
Hite?
I'm not sure his last name. Sorry, man. But like he was trying to sell all his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he like jumped hard into Magic, and then like now I'm seeing him. He's like trying to build a deck, and I'm like, I knew you would come around.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no, this place is really cool. I feel like because of Matt Alpaca, like the fact that I'm into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, I feel like it created such like a good first experience of why like I still play it today, because you know you'll hear sometimes like if you ever get into it, like there's some toxic traits about competitive Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I've heard like some stories, like there was some people, like there was like what was it, a couple months ago, there was some that came and played here. And he's like, oh, yeah, it was my first time here. I'm like, oh, where are you from? He's like, oh, I'm from, like, you know, Antioch, Concord area. I was like, oh, like, what? Like, how is it out there? He's like, well, I'm here just because, like, I feel like it's, like, cliquey there, or, like, you know, everyone's kind of, like, there's some people that are sore losers.
dude.
Yeah, but I don't see that here. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, everyone's been really cool. I feel like everyone was a little standoffish at first because, like, I have face tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who the fuck is this guy coming in here? But, like, everyone like warmed up, and like it just, I don't know, it's like really cool like hanging out with everybody.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, like between the shops in the area, we've kind of become the casual shop. This
Yeah.
is where people come for casual play. Like we have people driving out from Benicia and like
Oh, shit.
some people from Bay Area. Like yesterday in our tournament, we had people who drove out like from San Jose kind of
Oh.
thing just to come and play. You know what I mean?
Was that the mat tournament or just?
No, that's the. It was a tabletop tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like some people just don't want to aren't all about the I have to win kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have that vibe, you're just setting yourself up for failure anyways, because if you don't reach that goal of winning, you're just going to be upset.
Oh, definitely.
You know, like I feel like you should just go in like just happy to play a game.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's all it is at the end of the day. It's just a game.
Yeah, dude, that's why it's so confusing, like how people can get so bent out of shape like over it. It's like, dude, chill out. My bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, it was a $5 entry. Sorry. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, it was $5. Like, there's no need to get all pissy about it.
So, gentlemen, we have reached over an hour now.
Oh shit.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I feel like we've been here for only like 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
We can go longer if y'all want, but I know we all got places to go. So I want to end it on my tattoo. No, I'm just kidding. That's okay. I do have one final question. If anybody wanted to get into your industry, like what's the best way to start?
The best way to start is really just build your foundation. You know, don't tattoo on people outside of a shop environment. You know, I just say what I learned is do your dope, DOPE, which is draw or paint every day. I believe that came from a tattooer. His name was Brandon Bracamani. It could have even been longer than that, but that's where I've heard it referenced from. He's from Sacramento. He's a really good tattooer. He actually tattoos a lot of like the comic style stuff. But anyways, if you're focusing on your art, just stay focused. You know, it's going to get rough. You know, you might hit some plateau areas, but always draw. Once you get your drawing down and you're thinking about wanting to get into tattooing, find an apprenticeship. You know what I mean? Hang out at shops, get tattooed. Become familiar, become friends, and then kind of just, maybe offer to help out here and there. And, just stay motivated and, just stay motivated and get tattooed, really.
That's coming from one of the best tattoo artists in 707, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, man.
I lied, though. I forgot. I have one more thing I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of fashion myself, and I can't help but notice about how fly you are and all the fucking Gucci you've been wearing, man. I can't, first of all, not compliment the fit that this man's rocking today. And then I have to ask, where do you draw inspiration from, my brother?
Dude, I feel like it's from everywhere. You know what I mean? I have a lot of clients that are fly, and I kind of see what they like. Also, I think one of the guys that got me into caring more about how I look and dressing with a fashion sense is Flip Shades. Shout outs to Flip Shades. He has always dressed super awesome, and I remember one time he took me shopping, and it changed my life forever, and for the good and also for the bad, because honestly, it hurts my wallet so much.
What's more expensive, fashion or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh my God, dude.
He does both.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
When you hold in your hands a card that is $150 and you realize at the end of the day it's just cardboard, that hurts.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, the most recent set had the fucking Ghost Raider that's going for $600-$700 right now.
Yeah, and even before then, when Ghost from the Past came out, when the Dark Magician Ghost Raider came out, that thing was going for $1,500 for a hot minute.
Yep.
It's
wild, man.
I have one.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm trading for it. This dude and me, we decided that he wanted to get tattooed. He doesn't care about Dark Magician, and I'm like, I will tattoo you for that card. And now we are working on that right now.
Nice.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's dope. Man, I gotta trade you for some burritos one day.
That's a lot of burritos.
That's too many burritos, dude. I have to feed you burritos for a whole year.
Shit,
for
man.
an even trade, man. But yeah, dude, pay good money for your tattoo artist. We'll end it on that. You want a cheap tattoo artist, you're going to get a cheap fucking tattoo.
Yeah, just remember that tattoos aren't cheap and cheap tattoos aren't good.
Yep. And that's one thing I never think twice about spending my money on is tattoos. And good ass artists.
It's worth it. It's a good investment. That literally will be on you forever.
Yep.
Literally forever. So make sure that you're willing to spend some time with it.
Josh, I thank you so much. Do you want to plug anything up before you go?
Yeah. I wanted to shout out Anchor Tattoo, not Oval, Anchor Tattoo. Rest in peace, Oval. But I want to shout out Anchor Tattoo. My lady has a page, Props to Plants. She paints custom terracotta pots. They're super awesome. Definitely hit her up for it. It's on Instagram. I wanted to shout out Hauntless Apparel. That's my boy. Actually, he made this sweater here. All my boys at AK to Life, which is my Yu-Gi-Oh group. Definitely you guys, Matt Alpaca, your guys' shop, Peace, Love, and Boba. And there's one more. Oh, Tattoo Lover Care. They make really good aftercare for your tattoos because you want to make sure you take care of your stuff good.
That's it.
Yep.
Sweet.
Thank you, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Deuces.